Hey guys, so in this video I will show you how you can create 3D text by using TypeScript editor called Monaco. So if you click on this picture, you will go to the right editor of our application, and now you can start coding. So basically what we will do first, we will create a function. So this will be an asynchronous function that allows us to run asynchronous code, and bitbybit is full of asynchronous functions, so we can do this. So basically this is a boilerplate code, and you can ignore most of it. The essence of the modeling is going to be laid out in the body of this function. And what we will do first is we will try and create a 3D text. So let's make a variable text, and let's do it through the bitbybit function. You see that we have the IntelliSense here, and you have advanced category, text 3D, and we have a create method. So now you see that create method is red, and that's because it expects us to give it options. And if you hover on it, you see that the options are described by this model. What we can do is just go here and create another variable called options, and let's create it like this, and let's pass those options to the create method. Another important thing not to forget is to await on this method, because it is asynchronous. It takes a while to compute a 3D text. You see that it gives back a promise, and you can also go ahead and draw any async and pass entity of a text to it. So draw any async is a smart method that allows you to draw various kinds of things in bitbybit. We don't need to await on it. It will basically run its course and just draw a mesh on the screen. So let's do this and let's see what it outputs. And you see that we have now in this 3D environment that you can access by this button. Basically here you see the TypeScript environment, and by swapping the canvas you enter the 3D environment and hide the code. So many things are possible in TypeScript, and it's full-fledged programming language that I really recommend you learn. It's very nice. It has very nice IntelliSense, and you can become a real professional coder if you use it. So basically we can now change the text, for example, to hello world, and click run. So this one requires you to do that always, and you see that now we have a hello world text here. You can do many things, like you can also change the font type, and to know how to change it, what kind of fonts there are, TypeScript gives us this nice ability to do inspection. And let's copy paste this font enum, and here you see that we also have the options available to bitbybit developers. In the future we'll be adding more fonts, but it takes a while to check them and see whether they are good for 3D letters. Some are really bad in the sense that they contain intersections, and all kinds of errors occur due to that. You can also change the font size to something like 0.4, then it will become smaller. Let's remove that, let's keep it big. You see that we have many fonts here, like Silkscreen is font 1. It's a techie kind of font that I really like. Okay, so now we have this 3D text on the screen. Let's see how to make a cutout with it by using the Boolean operations of OpenCascade that we integrate in bitbybit. So basically what we need to do, we have now the text. The text, if you look into what kind of properties it has, you see that it has advanced width, bounding box. So these are like bounding box of this text, you know how big it is then, what's the size of it. You can use that to your advantage when modeling. But it also has these shapes. So shapes is the list of 3D shapes for each letter, but it also has this compound property, and this one is very important because this contains the Open Cascade shape reference, which means that you can use that to apply in various modeling operations. Text itself is more complex, so it has other things, not only the 3D model itself. You saw the properties of a bounding box and stuff like that. So what we will do now is we will create a box, and this we will do through Open Cascade category. We will go to Shapes, Solid, and create a box with width of 20, height of 1, length of 5, and center on here, like that. Okay, so now we can go ahead and also draw the box. So you see that now the text is behind the box, and that's not very good. What we can do is use the options of the text to change the origin to something like 10, 0, 0. Well, we might also need this, but also we need to make it, because now it's disappearing, we can just make the height of the font to 3, so that will be larger, and you see that now it's popping up quite a bit, which means that we overdid some values. Probably here it's enough to have 6, and yeah, the 1 wasn't probably necessary. Oh, I guess 0.5 will do it. Okay, so now it's approximately in the center. The only problem is that now it's not intersecting the box fully, and let's make sure that it does. So let's put it on 1.5 y direction. This lowers the text down. So in this case now, because we have 2 Open Cascade shapes, we can apply the Boolean difference on them, and this is done through a method that we'll find. Let's make the variable called cutout and await bit by bit OST booleans difference, and it has properties shape. So shape will be the box, and shapes that we want to cut out will be the text.compound, and we will not keep the edges. So let's try and do that, and let's also draw the cutout immediately. This is pretty fun, and let's see what works. Okay, yeah, so this is exactly what we wanted to achieve, or what I wanted to achieve. I wanted to cut out the model just like that, so the letters pass through the box, and you can do many other fun things on the box as well, because TypeScript is so fluent. You can just say box filleted, and let's do this. So bit by bit, OST, fillets, fillet edges, and let's pass the shape of the box to it. The radius will be 0.5, for example. That's good, maybe. Other options are not really required, and let's see how that works. So let's run. Yeah, probably that radius is a bit too large. Okay, yeah, that was it. So now you see that the box was rounded and the letters are nicely laid out here in the center. So now you can see how that all looks like. Another maybe optimization that is nice to know how to do is to use options. And options basically come in many shapes, in many forms, but we want to use open cascade shape options. So let's call the variable draw options and let's create it like that. Draw options have many properties for controlling how the shape gets drawn, but basically what we can do is just change first the face color to be, instead of red, let's make it blue, for example. So that would be like that, and let's pass options as options to a draw method. Okay, so now let's click run, and you see that we've created a nice blue box with letters inside. So this is how the Monaco editor that exposes TypeScript of bitbybit can be used to quickly sketch out parametric models in code directly on the web browser. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Find the script attached under the comments in the video section of YouTube. Subscribe, and let's see each other in the next videos. Cheers, guys.